A good learning strategy is to see the big picture first and get an idea of what's involved. And this is an exact example of that. So we're using the whole part whole analysis here. So this is all of it. And what I'm going to do is to just spin through a kind of meta narrative of the key parts and components and what they mean and how it works as a total system. And then subsequently we're going to look at each of these parts, what they mean and what's important about each component for the working of the overall system. So this is the total metacognitive self-regulatory system, the key component. So invariably, remember, in being a self-regulated learner, you've got to be able to plan the learning, set the key goals. We know about that. If you went through episode 2, you'll know a fair bit about the human learning process and the barriers to learning, and to be able to use metacognition, this unique human capability to manage yourself. Remember, it's not just about cognitive things, but it's about your personal motivation, interest, and your belief systems. In fact, anything that can support or inhibit your success as a learner, and from that you design the successful learning strategy. In other words, what you're going to do, how you're going to do it, etc. And that will involve the selection and use and evaluation of cognitive strategies. So that's the planning part. Then you've got to put it into practice, and as we know, it's very easy to sit there and say, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, etc. But you've then got to put the effort in, and that's where using those cognitive learning strategies come into play, and the important metacognitive aspect of managing the affect and behavioral side. In other words, to make sure that you keep positive beliefs, something that we'll see later referred to as a growth mindset, and that is to believe that with effort over time, with good feedback, you're going to be successful. And you're going to get setbacks. There's going to be times when you feel I've had enough of this or whatever. Just manage that and get back on task when you can, as soon as you can. And the final stages, we know that you've got to keep reviewing and evaluating what you're doing, the learning. Are you learning it? Is it meeting the goals? Are the strategies working? And be prepared to get feedback and be honest with yourself. And if it's not working, then think about, do you need to put more effort in, better practice, or do you need to change aspects of the strategy? All of these things are possible. This is the total self-regulation process. And if you can do these things well, it's like learning anything. You get better at it over time. You will be developing strong metacognitive capability that will help you be a better self-regulated learner. And if you achieve this, you're going to learn better. And hopefully you're going to feel better about yourself as well.